I understand the criticism of these numbers, and I understand the criticism of maybe some of the early efforts here. Mark Tritton, though, he's only been on the job for a few months now, basically since October. Are we sort of, throwing the towel on him a little bit too quickly?
I don't think that we're necessarily throwing in the towel. I think that there's an understanding that a lot of these results we're seeing now are through no fault of his own, are through the bad decisions of the prior management team. Having said that, we knew that the fourth quarter was going to be bad. I don't think that we thought it was going to be nearly this bad. And so I think part of the reaction is, look, this guy could be the second coming of Sam Walton, but maybe the patient is just too far gone. Maybe no one can turn around Bed Bath & Beyond.
So right now the stock is trading below your $12 price target. We think it's going to get a lot worse from here. At what point do you lower your estimates? What's the floor on this stock?
So I did lower my estimates this morning based off of this negative pre-announcement. In terms of the floor, it can certainly be significantly lower. I mean, things can always get worse before they get better. And if you get into a situation in which you realize, look, this thing could go to zero, then maybe that's the floor. Maybe the floor is zero. I mean, we've seen it before, unfortunately.
Anthony, I wonder what your take is on how Tritton addresses the 20% off coupons. That's what everyone associates with Bed Bath & Beyond. The customer has been trained to expect that. And I compare it to when Ron Johnson took over JCPenney and tried to get rid of all the different discounts and sales and bring in the everyday low pricing, which backfired on him because the customers would not respond.
I think that is the biggest risk. I think you hit the nail right on the head. Bed Bath & Beyond has trained customers to wait for that 20% off coupon, and there's almost this perception if you don't have that 20% off coupon, you're a sucker. I do believe, though, that at some point they're going to need to retrain their customers, because it's not just, everyone who goes in there gets at least 20% off. It's just that it becomes very confusing from a pricing perspective. And so, that to some extent is the $64,000 question. It's also funny that you bring up JCPenney, because that's one of the examples I was thinking of where you brought in Ron Johnson, who had obviously a ton of success with the Apple stores. He couldn't get it turned around. And then remember, his replacement was essentially Marvin Ellison of Home Depot fame, and he couldn't get it turned around.
So, Anthony, I mean, are there any sort of successful examples of success of companies sort of breaking free from the tyranny of these perpetual discounts?
I mean, there aren't any that I can think of off the top of my head, but it can be done. I mean, it is a very delicate sort of needle to thread, quite frankly. I think a lot of it's going to have to do with marketing and communication and really getting your customers to understand, okay, here's the lower price. It's always going to be this price. You're not going to have the coupons, but you're getting a fair deal at this lower price.